monster late season Erie smallmouth. That's what we're going to be doing on today's show. I'll be with Myles Burghoff catching some real hogs.
Coming up, the second episode ever of Real Fishing, way back in 1984, was shot with Bob's friend Gary Burghoff. Gary's an actor who has been in a variety of productions, from episodes of The Love Boat to Wonder Woman, and starred as Radar on the hit TV series MASH. Bob and Gary shot a number of shows in the early years, fishing for bass, catfish, and tuna. On today's show, Bob goes fishing with Gary's son, Myles Burghoff. Myles watched the old shows of his father and Bob fishing and developed a love for the sport. Myles and Bob met up on the tournament trail, and Bob invited him to do some fall smallmouth fishing on Lake Erie. With plenty of fish over 6 pounds in the area, it's bound to be a trip that Myles will never forget.
Look at that, everybody. Here comes. Whoa. All right. Oh, man. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Look at that big laker. Yeah. Ah, huge. Oh, baby. That thing is a monster. Whoa.
The Real Fishing Show with Bob Izumi.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Oh, I got one. Look at that thing! Help! Look at those teeth! Oh,
Bob Izumi!
Alright! Woo-hoo! Oh, that's a nice one. Oh! Whoa! Alright! Look at the size of this fish.
Real Fishing is sponsored by Chevrolet, Mercury, #1 on the water, and Tim Hortons.
Hey folks, that's what I call real fishing. Well, we're talking about the first part of November, and we're down here on Lake Erie, and I've got Myles Burghoff with me. Myles, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Bob.
All the way from Florida to the Great White North, right?
I'm freezing right now.
Well, hey, it's a nice day out. I don't know what he's talking about. I only got about 6 layers on.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, Myles, you and I have known each other since you were like little. In fact, I knew your dad before you were even born. And here we are fishing. What do you think?
Oh, it's been like 18 years since I heard of you or anything.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've been running hard, and of course, talking to your dad last winter was a real treat. His dad is Gary Burghoff, who played Radar and MASH, and Gary and I shot a lot of shows in the early 80s and, well, up into the early 90s, and then we sort of lost track of each other. And then this guy shows up down at an FLW series weigh-in at Lake Okeechobee in
bum a dinner off of you.
Well, you know what? It beats those frozen chimichangas or whatever you eat while you're down there.
Dollar store diet.
We're going to go out and catch some smallmouth and catch up and have some fun today. Glad you could join me. Let's get set up. All right. It's small. It's a small one. Well, let's see here. Whoops.
Oh.
Is he going around your line?
Son of a gun.
Oh, man. I didn't mean to catch the first fish today.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
By Lake Erie standards.
Look at that.
That's just a wee fella there.
I haven't...
We don't even need to net this guy.
Yeah.
We don't even need to net this one. Okay.
And put it on high, get you in the water. Not bad.
There we are. Let's get that gulp alive. 3-inch minnow right in his nose.
I'm not just going to watch it. I'm going to catch one myself.
Just a nice 2.5 at best. See how fat these fish are, though. They weigh a lot more than you think.
That was the first smallmouth I've seen in about three and a half years.
What? Oh, they don't have them in Alaska when you're up there guiding?
No.
See, what Myles does is he guides up in Alaska for how many months of the year now are you guiding?
I go up to the Baranoff Wilderness Lodge up there for 3.5 months during the summers.
And that's helping put you through school.
Yeah.
Myles moved from California to Florida to be a professional bass fisherman. Well, the cool thing is I saw the back of your pickup. You got your bed in there.
I can store all my 3,700 tackle boxes in there, and then I got my rod storage underneath. It's all carpeted, so I can just store everything under there.
This van's set up and ready to rock and roll and hit the road.
That's
I can see it now. Down the road, I'll be competing against this young guy. We just marked one on the graph, and we went over, and you caught him.
Yeah.
Well, hooked him.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
First smallmouth in 3 years. It feels great.
When was the last time? Connecticut?
Yeah.
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 Oh, you're running that trilene fluorocarbon on there, 8-pound test.
You know, I'm really liking it. It's, you know, it's got that low stretch, so it's really sensitive, and it's really working well on this spinning reel. So
yeah, this is the first time you've tried that line, right?
yeah, it is.
All right.
Oh, what a beauty.
All right.
What a beauty.
Good stuff. Good stuff. From Alaska to Florida to Lake Erie.
What a beautiful fish.
Fatty. Look at that. Good stuff.
Oh.
That was down deep. That was down to like 40 feet of water, too.
Yeah, nice and fat.
Right.
Oh.
Let's find the big guns. I know they're out here somewhere. That's funny because, you know, the whole key is in this deep water is there's no sense in fishing until you mark the fish on your electronic because, you know, they're scattered out here on these rocks, and they usually get pretty bunched up in November, but it's been such a mild fall, I think that they're still scattered a bit. We'll find them today because we got all day, meaning, let's see, what time is it now? It's 10:20 in the morning, and I don't have to be back. You don't have to be back. We're fishing till dark. We're going to find them.
Stay tuned for a look back to real fishing in 1984.
It's the biggest smallmouth I've caught in my life.
I actually haven't known Bob for that long. Bob and my dad, they did, I think, 3 shows back in the 80s, all in Connecticut, and I watch those all the time. My dad has all those shows taped in our house in Connecticut, and those were a really big influence on my fishing, and I really enjoy watching those. I live down in Florida now, over by Lake Okeechobee. I fish tournaments in Lake Okeechobee, and I was looking at the roster at a FLW series event down there last January, and I saw his name on there. Bob's such a great guy, so much fun to be around, and he's such a great fisherman, so I think it's really great that we got to hook back up again.
Were you moving that bait?
No, I wasn't, Bob.
He was strumming his line. If I'd have known you were into that, I'd have brought a banjo today. Mark them and catch them. Oh yeah, there's a nice one. Not bad sized fish. Alright. Whoa! Look at that. Nice fish. That's a nice one. Alrighty, good one. So tell me about when you were little. You used to watch the tape that your dad and I shot.
Oh, I used to watch it all the time. At nights when we're sitting in the house in Connecticut when I can't fish, or the nights that I don't want to go fishing because there's too many mosquitoes out, I'd sit there and watch that video. I love that video. That was pretty cool. Even the one that you know where you're catfishing it.
Yeah, but the one you're talking about is the one we shot right in Connecticut, smallmouth fishing.
That one was really cool.
I shot a show with Gary Burghoff way back in 1984, fishing on a lake in Connecticut. Let's take a look back at this memorable show. We're on the Real Fishing Show today in northwestern Connecticut. It's a real treat because we're going to go out and we're going to fish for some species that really I haven't fished a lot for, chain pickerel as well as smallmouth bass. A good friend of mine today is my guest, Gary Burghoff. A lot of you might know Gary as Radar on the TV series MASH, but I really know him as Gary Burghoff, the fishing fanatic, I guess. Gary.
You got a hit?
Yeah, how long are you going to give him?
Oh, there he is.
That's the biggest smallmouth I've caught this year if I land it, you know that? We were fishing out Lake St. Clair there.
Yeah.
We had some up to 5.5. Oh. You what?
No. You want me to grab it for you?
My biggest smallmouth I've caught all year. In fact, it's the biggest smallmouth I've caught in my life.
Really?
Myles catches the biggest smallmouth of his life when we return.
Oh, look how fat he is.
Let's take a look down under with this week's Fish Eye View, sponsored by Mercury, #1 on the water. As one of our most popular game fish, smallmouth bass receive a lot of angling pressure with catch and release standard procedure. What this means is that a high percentage of individuals have been caught before. An intelligent fish, they remember negative experiences for years and become conditioned against certain baits and techniques. This type of reaction is typical on cottage lakes, where you erroneously hear it's fished out. Live bait is one solution, but you run the risk of injuring deeply hooked fish. And they eventually see through this as well, becoming line shy. Invisible fluorocarbon leaders are always a good idea on pressured waters. Another Band-Aid solution is targeting post-spawn fish as soon as the season opens. Some male smallmouth will still be guarding free-swimming fry near shore. A better alternative is a back-to-basics approach, using the new generation of soft plastics and organic baits. Rather than using overcomplicated items bent on realism, try something simple like a plain worm or basic minnow. Downsizing and presentation is the real key. Quiet landings and a slow descent will trigger tough smallmouth. Repeat presentations are also a good idea. These fish are used to run and gun one-cast anglers. If all else fails, try something offbeat with these baits. In this case, it took an organic minnow presented upside down.
Oh, very nice.
That's a nice one. Oh, that is a nice one. Whoa. I thought you said it was a little one. There we go. Mr. Braun is back.
Oh, not bad.
There we go. Good one.
Feels solid.
Staying down deep.
Yeah.
Down deep. Where the big ones hang out. Watch it come up and be about 1 pound. Okay, 2 pounds.
2 pounds. I'll take it.
Alrighty. That's the cool thing about fishing tubes, and let's take a break and I'll talk a little bit on some of the lures that we use for this big water fishing. The most common baits used for smallmouth and big water are drop shot rigs and tube jigs. On today's show, we started off drop shotting with a 3-inch Gulp Alive minnow. The key to using this rig effectively is to try to keep it as still as possible while keeping a tight line to detect subtle bites. As the water got a little rougher, we switched to tube jigs. Dark green or brown work well in Lake Erie. We worked them very slow, just dragging them over an area as we drifted through. To find the fish, we looked on the GPS for shoals or areas with the depth change. Then we drove around the area while watching the sonar for drop-offs, rocks, or fish. Most of the time we marked a fish right before we caught one. Then we marked the spot and drifted through the area again. This is why electronics are a must for big water bass fishing.
There you go.
I love it. Of course, man. Mr. Braun's back. Oh, yeah. Did it feel just solid when you sat on it?
Yeah, it did.
Is that right?
Yeah. Look at, he spit out something too.
Did he?
Yeah, he spit out something big.
Oh, yeah, that's a netter. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a giant.
Holy cow.
That's a giant. Look at the size of that fish. Oh my, look at that here. Oh, that's a monster. Is that your biggest smallmouth ever?
I don't know. That's pretty big. That's the
come
fattest
on.
smallmouth.
That's a huge one. That's
That
like,
is the fattest smallmouth.
give me one of these.
Oh man.
Alrighty.
Holy cow.
Look at it.
That is a big fish.
That is a monster.
Oh, look how
man.
fat he is. Look at that, everybody.
Oh, we got to get a picture of that. That is an absolute monster smallmouth.
That is the biggest smallmouth I have ever caught.
6 pounds, 10 ounces, this smallmouth. Fish of a lifetime. Alrighty.
Awesome.
Stay tuned to see if Myles can land another bass over 6 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This tip of the week is sponsored by Coleman.
Having the right equipment can make all the difference in the world, especially when we're talking about GPS units, sonar units, and nowadays mapping. And I'll tell you what, Jeff, you guys at Navionics have got some phenomenal products. A lot of us guys who fish tournaments, we swear by it. We can't go fishing without it. But let's talk about some of the lakes now. You guys are doing lakes every year, new lakes you're adding to the system. Like there are thousands of lakes that are available now where you can see all the bottom makeup.
Right. We have over 10,000 lakes at this point in time, and we add new lakes from a couple of different sources. The first source, and pretty much the easiest source, and the source that pretty much all the other map companies use, is what we call public data. It's data that's readily available in libraries, online, and it's okay. And that's pretty much where we started out the mapping business, with this public data. That was okay. But we realized fairly early on that there were some inherent deficiencies in this product as far as accuracy, detail, positioning was off. So a lot of these maps were built before they actually had, GPS. So we knew this, and we said, well, how do we get the best detail on our maps? And really, after looking at all the options, the only option was to actually put boats on the lakes and run them back and forth all day long with some high-tech gear. And what we get as an end result is a product or a map that's accuracy is unmatched by anything today or previously in the industry.
So they'll spend weeks on end or even months.
Right.
Well, as an angler, there's no question that finding areas offshore are so important for me, because you're always looking for that hidden gem, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But the other thing is for navigational purposes. When you're running out there, I'm constantly looking at my Navionics charts.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a lower unit for so long now I can't even remember. But that's that. Not superstitious. Hey, folks, we're gonna get back to some more of that real fishing.
There you go. Holy cow, that's a nice one.
That fish there is a solid fish. Oh, goby. There's your goby.
Lake Erie goby.
Look at how fat they are.
Nice.
That's a nice fat smallmouth right there. Look at that thing.
There you go.
Alrighty. Feels like a decent fish. Oh yeah. Aren't they something?
Oh, they are.
Wow, he just swallowed that bait. I'm just gonna dip him with the net. Oh. Another nice one. Look at that. Wow. What a fish. See you later, guy. What I did is I took this tube here and I'm just spraying it. Gulp Alive. And just get downwind here, but just giving it a good spray. Put a little bit of attractant on there. Anything to give me that little advantage I'll do. And that's the thing about fishing, Myles, is that it's a game of odds.
Yeah.
There's luck. Some can argue it's a large percentage, but I think like hardcore guys like yourself who like tournaments,
Yeah.
What do you think it is, luck?
Really, you just have to make your own luck. You need to really try to control all the controllables you can, you know, and just take care of you know, every little detail. I think that it's real important to take care of every little detail in order for you to really bring up your chances.
Fresh line, sharp hooks.
Yeah, sharp hooks.
Retie often. You know, the other thing though is I would say that it's a percentage deal. I think successful tournament fishing is probably 5 or 10% luck.
Yeah.
The rest is a game plan that is formulated and goes together, and or you make the right decisions on the water on the fly, right?
Yeah. It's a solid fish.
Solid?
Solid fish. Well, not, you know, it's solid.
That's a solid fish. That's about a 5-pound solid fish. Hold on a second. Let me get the net. Let me grab the Beckman. All right. That's a solid fish.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Wow, that's huge. Look at that fish. You know, we're talking over 6 pounds. That's top of the food chain, and you got to put them back. What do you think?
Wow, what a great fish. Beautiful fish. These Lake Erie smallmouth are just something.
2 trophies in one day. All right. Good stuff. That is amazing. And guess what? I missed them.
You know what? As I remember, you caught your biggest fish with my dad a long time. Well, now you have a bigger fish. But
well, 20 some odd years ago, the first few years I was doing the show, I was in Connecticut with your dad, and I caught a smallmouth in your lake in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was the biggest smallmouth I ever caught. And so, isn't it only fitting that you catch your biggest with me?
So you come to my house and you catch your biggest at the time, and I come to your house and I catch my biggest.
All right.
That's just awesome.
Well, thanks for coming up here and fishing with me, and I know you know you've got a great future ahead of you. And say hi to your mom and dad. Of course, I got to say hi. We'll call them later and tell them about the fish. What do you think? Well, we've got a little bit more time to fish, actually quite a bit more time. There's probably 2 hours of daylight left. I don't think we can quit because, hey, he's only up for today to fish smallmouth, but we will see you next week right here for some more real fishing. Myles, let's get him.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All right, your hands are cold. That fish was big and cold, wasn't it?
It was.
Hey, we sure had a great time fishing for smallmouth out on Lake Erie. It was nice to meet up with Myles after all these years and to hear how the shows I shot with his father helped him develop his interest in fishing. I'll see you next week right here for some more real fishing.
Yeah, all right.
This is a big fish. That is a fish of a lifetime. Whoa. Well, that is just amazing.
Look at that thing.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, man. That was too cool. Oh, man, what a fish. Look at that. Yes.